शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मद्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं दूतीक्रमं मण्डलं वीरान्यष्टचतुष्कषष्ठिनवकं वीरावली पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनी मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम्। श्रीविमर्शानन्दनाथं सत्याम्बासहितं गुरुं हृत्पद्मकर्णिका मध्ये भावयेत् सर्वसिद्धये। श्रीभासुरानन्दनाथाय नमः। श्रीभास्करराय गुरुमण्डलाय नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्।
Namaste, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Welcome to the 6th week of Soundaryalahari Sādhana. It's amazing how days go so fast. We will now start with learning to chant the 51st shloka of Soundaryalahari.
śive śṛṅgārārdrā.
śive śṛṅgārārdrā. śive śṛṅgārārdrā.
taditarajane kutsanaparā.
taditarajane kutsanaparā. taditarajane kutsanaparā.
śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā.
śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā. śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā.
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ.
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ. saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ.
giriśacarite vismayavatī.
giriśacarite vismayavatī. giriśacarite vismayavatī.
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī.
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī. saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī.
harāhibhyo bhītā.
harāhibhyo bhītā. harāhibhyo bhītā.
sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī.
sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī. sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī.
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī.
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī. harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī.
sakhīṣu smerā.
sakhīṣu smerā. sakhīṣu smerā.
te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā.
te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā. te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā.
sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā.
sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā. sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā. We'll now chant all the 4 lines together. śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā. saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī. harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī. sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā. We'll do that once again. śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā.
सरोषा गङ्गायां गिरिशचरिते विस्मयवती हराहिभ्यो भीता सरसिरुहसौभाग्यजननी सखीषु स्मेरा ते मयि जननि दृष्टिः सकरुणा.
We just learnt the chanting part. We'll now listen to Priya, Paramesh, Mahinta and Karthik and learn the 51st shloka in Ananda Bhairavi Ragam. So the verses from 51 to 60 are set in Ananda Bhairavi Ragam. Let's move on to listen to Priya and her team.
शिवे शृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा शिवे शृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा
शिवे श्रृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा शिवे श्रृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī
saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī
शिवे śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī शिवे śṛṅgārārdrā तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī
शिवे श्रृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī शिवे श्रृङ्गारार्द्रा तदितरजने कुत्सनपरा saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ गिरिśacarite vismayavatī
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī
sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā te mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
harāhibhyo harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī
sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
harāhibhyo bhītā
sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī
harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī
sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā
śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā śive śṛṅgārārdrā taditarajane kutsanaparā saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ giriśacarite vismayavatī harāhibhyo bhītā sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī sakhīṣu smerā mayi janani dṛṣṭiḥ sakaruṇā.
Let us now look at the word by word meaning. Hey Janani. Janani is in the last line and the fourth line. Hey Janani, Bhagavad Pada addresses mother, O mother. Dṛṣṭi, te dṛṣṭiḥ. These two words are also on the fourth line. Te dṛṣṭiḥ, your eye glances. śṛṅgārārdrā. Come back to the first line. The second word, śṛṅgārārdrā, are filled and melted with śṛṅgāra rasa. Ardra means it's moist and melted. So it's melted, your eye glances are melted with śṛṅgāra rasa. Towards who? śive, towards Shiva. The third word of the first line, taditarajane. So this word has to be split as taditarajane. Tat plus itara plus jane. It has three words in it. Towards others, meaning any person other than Shiva. Itarajane, other than Shiva, towards them. How is her eye glance? It is kutsanaparā. It has an expression of contempt and dislike. Then saroṣā gaṅgāyāṃ. Gaṅgāyāṃ saroṣā. Towards Ganga, it is with full of anger. Girishacarite vismayavatī. Girishacarite. Girisha is the name of Shiva. On hearing the charitam or stories of Shiva filled with miracles and wonders, she becomes vismayavatī. She becomes full of amazement. Third line, harāhibhyo bhītā. Harāhibhyo, the word harāhibhyah has to be split as hara and ahibhyah. Ahi means snake, hara is Shiva. Harāhibhyah meaning seeing snakes as ornaments on Shiva, she becomes bhītā. She becomes afraid and frightened. sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī. The redness in the lotus-like eyes of Devi causes the redness of the lotuses, indicating the Veera rasa. Sakhīṣu smerā. Sakhīṣu. Towards her friends, her companions, smerā. As a humorous expression, she is always smiling and laughing. Mayi sakaruṇā. Towards me, your glances are filled with compassion. This verse continues with the description of Devi's eyes. Devi's eyes reveal 9 different types of rasas. Rasas means emotions. So there are 9 different types of emotions that humans exhibit. Bhagavad Pada describes each emotion in this verse as she exhibits them all through her eyes with people around her. Of all the sense organs, only eyes have the ability to reveal all 9 emotions. No other sense organ like ears, nose, tongue or skin can exhibit any change in our emotions. Any slight change in the feelings experienced by an individual is revealed through eyes. Let us see now how Bhagavad Pada explains the 9 different types of expressions of passions called Navarasas revealed by Devi's eyes. When she looks at her husband Shiva, her eyes are filled with śṛṅgārārasa or the emotion of love. Because of this, her eyes become moist, śṛṅgārārdrā. Then, when she is approached by anyone other than her husband Shiva, her eyes reveal disgust or it shows bhībhatsarasa. Normally, in bhībhatsarasa, eyes are closed. We know a Puranic story when Shiva disguises himself as an old man and approaches Parvati. When Parvati does tapas to marry Shiva, Shiva wanted to test her determination, and he disguises himself as an old man and he approaches her to dissuade her. When he approaches Parvati, immediately Parvati closes her eyes to show her disgust. This means her eyes reveal her disgust when approached by other men. This also shows that she is a pativrata. Only when we approach Devi as our mother will she reveal her karuna and not exhibit bhībhatsarasa.
Next is when Devi becomes roshamaya, that is, when she becomes furious. This happens when she sees Ganga, her husband's other wife. Here, Bhagavad Pada uses an example and explains a day-to-day sentiment displayed by women. A woman always wants to own her husband exclusively and never would want to share with another woman. Parvati similarly feels possessive of Shiva. After all, she had to do so many years of tapas to get him to agree to marry her. Now, we know Shiva gave half of his body to Parvati to become Ardhanarishvara. What can we say about Parvati's feeling when she sees Shiva keeping that woman Ganga on his head? Whenever Parvati wants to see Shiva's face, she has to see Ganga as well, as she sits on top of Shiva's head. So it is natural that Shakti reveals her Raudra Rasa or becomes saroṣā, furious at seeing Ganga. She is jealous of Ganga as she has her source in Shiva's hair and is thus intimately close to him before becoming a river on earth. We should know Devi also has 3 eyes, and her third eye is Agni Swarupa or fire. It is said that this anger is so intense that it produces so much heat that it melts Ganga, who is in the form of ice, on Shiva's head, and so flows down to Bharata Desha as river Ganga. Just like Shiva burnt Kamadeva, who is actually Shakti's devotee, Shakti melts Shiva's devotee Ganga with her anger. Equality of Shiva and Shakti is once again revealed. So it is not that only Shiva can use his third eye to burn Kamadeva. Even Shakti can use her third eye, because when she is also angry and then melt Ganga.
When she thinks about the accomplishments of Shiva, like killing of asuras, burning down Manmatha, drinking poison, she is amazed. This wonder feeling is Vismaya. This emotion is called Adbhuta Rasa. Here it is to be noted that she gets this feeling of amazement when she hears about the Tripurasura Samhara by Lord Shiva, as mentioned in Skanda Purana. Bhuma Devi or earth becomes the chariot, Surya and Chandra become the wheels of this chariot, Mahameru mountain becomes the bow, Adisesha becomes the bowstring, Mahavishnu shining in the Surya Mandala becomes the arrow, Brahma becomes the charioteer, the 4 Vedas coming out of the 4 faces of Brahma become the horses, and Lord Shiva sits on the Upanishads in the form of heads of the horses in the war against Tripurasura to kill him, according to Skanda Purana. Devi's eyes are filled with amazement and wonder when she hears about her Lord as a superhero. Next comes the Bhayanaka Rasa. She gets frightened seeing the snakes as ornaments in Shiva's neck, and her eyes reveal the fear, bhītā or Bhayanaka Rasa. The red color of her eyes when she gets frightened simultaneously exhibits the Veera Rasa or her valor. Bhagavad Pada says, this red color is the one giving beauty to the beautiful red lotuses. This means her beauty has defeated the beauty of the most beautiful lotus flower. Veera Rasa is expressed by her here. Next comes sakhīṣu smerā. When she enjoys her time with her girlfriends, she is all smiles. Her eyes show the hasya rasa or the emotion of joy and humor. Bhagavad Pada says in the end, towards me, the emotion of compassion or karuna rasa is exhibited in your eyes. When he says me, we should take it as towards her devotees. He says, O mother, your glances that show different rasas are full of compassion when falling on me. We note that Bhagavad Pada has mentioned only 8 rasas out of the Nava rasas or 9 rasas. Towards Shiva, she has the śṛṅgāra rasa. With other people other than Shiva, she has the disgust, the bhībhatsa rasa. With Ganga, she has the Raudra rasa. Listening to Shiva's charitas, she exhibits the Adbhuta rasa. Looking at the snakes on Shiva's neck as ornaments, she gets the Bhayanaka rasa. Sarasiruhasaubhāgyajananī describes her Veera rasa, and with sakhīṣu smerā, she gets the hasya rasa, and with devotees, she gets the karunya rasa. Altogether, Bhagavad Pada has mentioned only 8 rasas out of the Nava rasas or 9 rasas in this shloka. He has not mentioned the 9th passion, Shanta rasa. The reason for this is that out of the 9 rasas, only 8 emotions can be expressed by the eyes. The lack of any emotion is Shantarasa. Bharata in the Natya Shastra also mentions only these 8 rasas or emotions mentioned by Bhagavad Pada.
Also, there is another reason why Shantarasa is not mentioned explicitly. He starts this 51st shloka with the word śive. In the Mandukya Upanishad, it is Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante. Shantam is Shivam. Shiva and Parvati are naturally Shantaswarupi. Another interesting point to note is that just like the Panchakshara mantra is in the middle of Yajurveda Samhita in Sri Rudram, Shakti's name is in the beginning of the 51st verse, which is exactly at the middle of Soundaryalahari. Soundaryalahari verse 1 starts with Shiva mantra, Shiva Shaktya Yukto, Shiva being part of the Panchakshara mantra. 51st verse starts with śive, which is Shakti as the form of auspiciousness. This auspiciousness is Shantam. We just saw Shantam Shivam Advaitam. That is, Shantam is also Shivam. Thus, Bhagavad Pada has also implicitly indicated the Shantarasa in this verse. Because Shantarasa denotes inactivity, and the entire Soundaryalahari starts with Spandana or activity, only the 8 rasas depicting Karyam or activity is explicitly mentioned in this 51st shloka. Some scholars feel this verse, the 51st verse, as the mantra for the 11th Tithi Nitya, Neela Pataka Nitya hidden.
We will now move on to learning the 52nd shloka of Soundaryalahari.
Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ
Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ
garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī
Garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī Garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī
Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī
Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī
Puram bhettuh chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale
Chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale Chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale
Puram bhetus chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale
Puram bhetus chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale Puram bhetus chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale
Ime netre gotra dharpati
Ime netre gotra dharpati Ime netre gotra dharpati
Kulotamsa kalike
Kulotamsa kalike Kulotamsa kalike
Ime netre gotra dharpati kulotamsa kalike
Ime netre gotra dharpati kulottamsa kalike Ime netre gotra dharpati kulottamsa kalike
Tava karna krishtha
Tava karna krishtha Tava karna krishtha
Smarashara vilasam kalayataha
Smarashara vilasam kalayataha Smarashara vilasam kalayataha
Tava karna krishtha smarashara vilasam kalayataha
Tava karna krishtha smarashara vilasam kalayataha Tava karna krishtha smarashara vilasam kalayataha. We'll recite all the 4 lines of this verse together. Gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ garutaiva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī Puram bhetuṣ chitta prashamarasa vidravana phale
इमे नेत्रे गोत्राधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके तवाकर्णाकृष्टः स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः.
Once again. गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गरुत इव पक्ष्माणि दधति पुराम्भेतुश्चित्तप्रशमरसविद्रावणफले. इमे नेत्रे गोत्राधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके तवाकर्णाकृष्टः स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः. We'll now listen to Priya, Pramesh, Mahinta and Karthik and learn the 52nd verse in Ananda Bhairavi Ragam.
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī. गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī.
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गरुत इव पक्ष्माणि दधति. गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गरुत इव पक्ष्माणि दधति.
पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले.
पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले.
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले. गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले.
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गरुत इव पक्ष्माणि दधति. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले. गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गरुत इव पक्ष्माणि दधति. पुराम्भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले.
इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके. इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके.
इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके. इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके.
तव कर्णाकृष्टस्मरशरविलासं कलयतः. तव कर्णाकृष्टस्मरशरविलासं कलयतः.
तव कर्णाकृष्टस्मरशरविलासं कलयतः. तव कर्णाकृष्टस्मरशरविलासं कलयतः.
इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तंसकलिके. तव कर्णाकृष्टस्मरशरविलासं स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः
इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तवाकर्णाकृष्ट
स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः
इमे नेत्रे गोत्र धरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्ण कृष्ट स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः इमे नेत्रे गोत्र धरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्णाकृष्ट स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गारुत इव pakṣmāṇi दधति पुरां भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्णाकृष्ट स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं
गारुत इव pakṣmāṇi दधति पुरां हेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले
इमे नेत्रे गोत्रधरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्णाकृष्ट
स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः
गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गारुत इव pakṣmāṇi दधति पुरां भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले इमे नेत्रे गोत्र धरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्णाकृष्ट स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः गते कर्णाभ्यर्णं गारुत इव pakṣmāṇi दधति पुरां भेतुश्चित्त प्रशमरसविद्रावणफले इमे नेत्रे गोत्र धरपति कुलोत्तं सकलिके तव कर्णाकृष्ट स्मरशरविलासं कलयतः.
We'll now look at the word by word meaning. Bhagavad Pada addresses here Devi as Gotra Dharapati Kulottamsa Kalike. We have heard about Hey Devi, Hey Ume, Hey Janani, but here he uses a combination of few words and addresses her that way. That is in the third line. Hey Gotra Dharapati Kulottamsa Kalike. The words have to be split as Gotra plus Dhara plus Patihi Kulam Uttamsa Kalike. So Gotra means Bhumi, earth. Dhara is the one holding the earth. Patihi means Lord. So Gotra Dharaha means mountains, because it is said that mountains hold this earth to balance it. So Gotra Dharaha means mountains. Gotra Dhara Patihi means the Lord of mountains, who is Himavan. Kulottamsa Kalike. Kulam is family. So Himavan's family. Uttamsa. Himavan's family is Makutam. Uttamsa means makutam or crown. Himavan's family's makutam. Kalike, you are the young bud adorning the crown of the family of the Lord of Mountains. So that is what it means by Gotra Dharapati Kulottamsa Kalike. She is the young bud adorning the crown of the family of Lord of Mountains, Himavan. Tava. Tava is also in the fourth line. Tava, your. Ime netre in the third line. Ime netre, these two eyes. Come back to the first line. Karṇābhyarṇaṃ gate. Karṇābhyarṇaṃ gate. These two eyes are extending up to your ears. Karna. Karnaha means ear. Karṇābhyarṇaṃ gate means they are extending up to your ears. pakṣmāṇi, eyelashes. Garuta iva dadhatī are like feathers in the arrows. Come to the second line. Chitta prashama rasa vidravana phale. Chitta means mind. Prashama rasa. Prashama rasa means shantarasa. Vairagyam. Shantarasam with no activity, meaning tranquility. Vidravana, destroying or disturbing. Phale, causing. Your eyelashes are like feathers in the arrows, causing disturbance to the mind having shantarasa, which is having no activity. Puram, whose mind? Puram bhettuhu. Bhettuhu means the destroyer. Puram means the three cities, the destroyer of the three cities, meaning Lord Shiva. Kalayataha, causing. Akarna krishtha has to be split as akarna, extended up to the ears. Akrishtha, the two eyes are extended up to the ears. Smarashara, arrows of Smerā or Kamadeva. Vilasam, just like. So let's put all the words together and try to understand the meaning of this verse. In the last verse, Devi's eyes and eyebrows were compared with Kamadeva's bow drawn to strike Shiva. Here, Devi's eyelashes are described as feathery wings of Manmatha's flowery arrows. In the 50th verse, we saw Devi's eyes, which are like honeybees, wanting to be very close to her ears to listen to the sweet words of great poets. So the eyes are extending up to her ears, and the ears now have become a honeycomb. This meant the eyes elongated themselves and became wide, almost touching your ears. Now your eyelashes, they look like the feather in the flowery arrows of Manmatha. Manmatha has panchabanas made of flowers. So those flowers are the arrows of Manmatha, and your eyelashes look like the feather in the flowery arrows of Manmatha. And your eyes emanate the śṛṅgārārasa and disturb Shiva, who is in the state of Shantarasa, and stir him into action. So the last verse we saw that Shantarasa was missing. Now Bhagavad Pada has mentioned the Shantarasa in the 52nd shloka, which is being disturbed by Devi's śṛṅgārārasa.
Bhagavad Pada says, your eyes are like the bow and arrow of Manmatha, transforming the mind of Shiva by removing Shantarasa and inducing śṛṅgārārasa in his mind. We have already seen that the 5 tanmatras are the 5 arrows of Manmatha, and the mind is the sugarcane bow. Shabdadi tanmatraha panchapushpa banaha mana ikshu dhanuhu. Here Bhagavad Pada beautifully says that Devi's eyes are depicting the power of Manmata's bow and arrow in the cosmic play. We are all reflections of her as we are part of her. She is bringing out the passion of love as śṛṅgārārdrā, means we also generate the same kind of feelings. śṛṅgārārdrā brings Shiva out of his tranquility and meditative state. This means Devi decorates herself beautifully with elegance and style to attract Shiva. A sadhaka also has to not only decorate Devi with good ornaments and clothes, but he or she should also dress up with nice clothes, applying chandanam, kunkumam, perfumes, and adorn fragrant flowers. In fact, at the start of the puja, the sadhaka has to do a good alankara for himself. Atmanam alankritya is a procedure to be performed as part of Sri Vidya Navavarana Puja. Before this, sadhaka starts the puja. The puja has to be done then with a joyous state of mind.
Nobody wants to see a dull person doing the puja. So I think dressing up and doing the śṛṅgāra or the adorning of good ornaments and good clothes will also create joy and happiness in the minds of the sadhaka. The words gate karṇābhyarṇaṃ garuta iva pakṣmāṇi dadhatī, the first line of this shloka, when decoded, the scholars have found the 12th Tithi Nitya, Vijaya Nitya's mantra hidden in the first line. With this, we conclude today's session. Please join us tomorrow, same time, to learn the 53rd and the 54th shloka. Hope you're all able to download our app, Bhaskar Prakasha Ashram's Shri app, available both in Play Store and App Store. The app has been designed in such a way that it helps the listener to just learn the musical renditions separately. If you want, you can also listen to the meanings separately and also go through the chanting part. And it comes along with the text of Soundaryalahari verses in different languages. Please check it out. If you have any concern downloading the app, please do write to us through our website. We will help you download the app, and we will see you all tomorrow. Namaste. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.
शिवे शिव सुशीतलामृततरङ्गगन्धोल्लसन् नवावरणदेवते नवनवामृतस्यन्दिनी गुरुक्रमपुरस्कृते गुणशरीरनित्योज्ज्वले षडङ्गपरिवारिते कालितयेष पुष्पाञ्जलिः कालितयेष पुष्पाञ्जलिः